Hello, everyone. Today's guest is Omar Busaidy. He's an Emirati author and Fulbright scholar. Thanks for being with us today. You attended the White House signing ceremony yesterday. Tell us about that experience.
It was a wonderful experience. Just to be able to be here in Washington D.C., you could just feel the energy everywhere. I saw so many of the people, even outside, like at cafes and restaurants around, and you can just see smiles everywhere because this was a momentous opportunity that everybody was looking to see come to reality for a very long time. And the fact that it happened now at this very really interesting time, we have the pandemic and everything, but still during such a rough time for the whole world, we were able to see that be a beacon of hope, which was this agreement, and only more great opportunities and news that we're going to see very soon in the future.
You're very proactive on social media and on Twitter. Not all of the reactions have been positive.
Yes, I did get some less positive reactions, of course. For a lot of people, look, the way I summarize it is this. Leave politics to the politicians or to people who are close to politics, who understand this, who understand the different dynamics, the different actors involved in this, the different consequences involved in this, the potential opportunities. I think there are many things that people don't understand that are behind the scenes that require because this wasn't a decision that someone just woke up overnight and said, hey, let's make a deal with this, let's do whatever. These are things that are educated. There's strategists, there are advisors, there are so many people behind the scene working on deals like this for years. It's not even, so it's not that easy for them. They understand what the reaction will be from the people. And what I want to say again, this deal is to serve, like, there's self-interest and there's selfishness. We're not being selfish by doing this. And we understand the naysayers for the comments that they've made, whether to me or to other people who are supportive of the deal. This is looking at the interests not only of the UAE, but also for the wider Arab region. And we have to start having this conversation. And it was just a matter of time that someone, just puts their foot on the ground and say, listen, here we are, let's extend our arm and our hand and have that discussion. And this is what we're doing.
Are you disappointed with some of your friends who have been speaking against it?
I'm not disappointed. I pity like their reaction. And I'm also very understanding. Like, I know why this behavior was there and why they reacted this way, and I know I never hold any grudges. People can say whatever they want. I'm still good, and hopefully, like, in the future, they will see. You're going to see the fruit of this partnership come through later. I mean, a lot of people are making predictions of their own based on emotions, based on ideas, theories, propaganda, that this is not going to be something that will be, let's say, respected and or followed through and whatever. There are all these sort of like conspiracies that people are coming up with. But we are very clear. We have a lot of things that are on paper that are, and we know how we're going to tackle this agreement. Like every article, if you go through the Abraham records, they're public. And you will see how we're going to be engaging with Israel and vice versa. So it's a very clear deal. It's a win-win for everyone.
Everyone witnessed the Israeli journalist who interrupted the Emirati journalist during his live hit. Yeah. And of course, she was well-intentioned, but that didn't go so well. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
These kind of incidences, they happen all the time. We have these blips or these kind of things that kind of happen also in the UAE. They happen all over the world, really. So when we saw it, we just saw, look, somebody was very excited and they couldn't contain their excitement. And for us, we were like, wow, I hope when they come to the UAE, they want to just like randomly talk to us like that. Because a lot of the times, I'll be honest, when I walk around dressed in my traditional outfit, some people think it's intimidating, and I don't understand why, because it's actually very nice and very cool. But if you can come to the UAE and meet me, and you want to like talk to me as enthusiastic as that lady was, the anchor, then yeah, please come and just approach us. We're very cool.
3 tips for Israelis who are excited to be engaging with Emiratis, either socially or from a business standpoint.
Okay, socially, I'll tell you, we love to eat. We love to eat and chill in coffee shops. So we're always, you go to our malls. If you go to our shopping malls, you'll find a sea of us Emiratis always lining up in a restaurant and coffee shops, and we love doing that. We love long conversations. This is number one. We're also very generous people, so don't be surprised by the generosity. Sometimes it might be a little bit intimidating how generous they are, but they are just, I don't know if you look at it in a good way or whatever, but we're very generous that way, so don't be surprised. And then number 3, one of the things that this is social and also connected to business. If you want to do business with an Emirati, and actually most people in the Gulf, we are people that we like to get to know one another. If you want to do business long term, you need to build that rapport, and building that rapport needs time. And yes, you have the chutzpah, but you gotta like hold it down a little bit, because when we have that sort of relationship, we know that we're not just doing a business with somebody else, like a friend. We're doing business with family. So we take it. We like to build that kind of, and the Emiratis' word verbal is worth 1 million contracts without even signing anything. Like, you can, if they say they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. So this I can assure you. You don't have to worry about that.
You think we have cultural similarities, Israelis and Emiratis?
I think they do. I think both of them are fun-loving people. Both of them we both are go-getters. So I have no doubt about that. And the other similarities, I think also, you guys have great food. I mean, I've been to some Israeli restaurants and tried some dishes, and we also have really great food. You should try our food too. So there are some similarities there. Yeah.
What do you think the biggest business opportunities will be now for Israelis?
Absolutely. Technology. So one of the things that the UAE has done is we've built our infrastructure to the highest levels around the world, the highest standards. And so we worked on our energy sector. We worked on, real estate, etc., all the hard services. But now these intangible services, and especially technology in different fields, whether it's in education, agriculture, water, cybersecurity, and across all sectors really, or fintech. This is where I feel that the opportunities for Israeli companies will be at. So the Emiratis, they have a huge appetite, and they love investing in strategic projects. So the doors are wide open.
Israelis are going to be, I think, storming Dubai and the Emirates as tourists. Mm-hmm. What are some things that they maybe should be aware of or shouldn't do?
Okay. So, I mean, look, every country, I guess, Rabbi Sarna, he said this, right? He said that when, you go to any country, you're a guest. So I guess like when you go to anybody's home, you behave as a guest in a certain norm. So, there's some people, if you go to their home, like for example, they tell you they don't want you to wear shoes at home, like in their homes. And I respect it. I don't wear shoes and, whatever. So, so there are some rules that people have to respect, like, like anywhere else. And they're very easy. It's just basically just be a good global citizen, and, just respect other people, don't use abusive language on the street. Very basic thing. It's nothing is there like very restrictive. There, it's a very open society. We have over 195 nationalities that have lived there for decades in the UAE, and it's been fine.
it seems that the F-35 jet sales is very close to happening. And it seems like that was maybe something discussed initially. How did the Emirati people see this?
I mean, I can tell you, most Emiratis now have the F-35's jets as their avatar on their social media accounts. So I can tell you, we're very excited for us to be able to, the UAE actually. General Mattis from the US called the UAE as Little Sparta because we're militarily very, very advanced, and we've been able to use our advantage in our military capabilities to support our allies in a lot of ways. And we've took part in a lot of different missions in Afghanistan, in different areas, in Iraq as well, and Libya. And the fact that the US has seen this track record of our participation, and also now that because we normalized our relationship with Israel, which is an important ally to the US as well, they know that they have nothing to worry about. Like, we're just going to be working on partnership, and increasing our capabilities just helps to make our nation stronger. Both Israel and the UAE have the same threats in the region, and we're looking to work together to try to counter and reduce those threats to our people and protect our borders and make them safer.
When you see Israelis speaking against the sale of jets, do you feel betrayed?
No, I mean, look, again, just like anywhere else, there are people who, like I said, who think that this deal that we did with Israel is a betrayal. And there are some people in Israel, we understand, they have their fear because they still have not seen, they don't know us. They've never been introduced to the people of the UAE. So they don't know us. And unfortunately, it's like we've been branded like we are the rest, or like we're like everybody else. Emiratis are Emiratis. We're not another people, not another nationality. We're not another race. We're different people, different problems, different opportunities with us. Everything's different with us. So when we start to build that cultural exchange, and the media and people like yourself who talk about Emiratis, have Emiratis on your program and on your show and on your platform, we would be able to kind of like show more Israelis about who we truly are. So when they get to see us like this, sadly, because of the COVID, we're at this distance, but hopefully we'll be able to be there face to face, and then they wouldn't have a problem with us. They'll see that we have a lot more in common than differences.
Omar, thank you so much. This is really just the beginning.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on your show, and I can't wait to be here more frequently.